Hello everyone, I'm Pankaj Singh. I'm a mechanical engineer by profession, by qualification. I got about 20 years of experience across various sectors, manufacturing, IT, ITES and CPG at the moment. Uh, my business process excellence experience has been over 17 years now, and I've been fairly well conversant in this line. My journey into process excellence started off with Juran. I think that's pretty old now with all the new methodologies coming out, but I've gone through Juran, I've gone through TQM, I've gone through seeing the move towards from production manufacturing into service, and now Lean and Six Sigma together. So that's about my background.
Okay, so it's good to know this. So, as you move from manufacturing to service, have you seen some major changes in the Lean Six Sigma thinking?
Yeah, I've seen quite some major changes in that. We have this typical terminology in service where they say we want industrial strength processes. In manufacturing, it's very easy to get those kind of processes because you can sort of tie in the controls pretty deeply, and the word says it all, industrial strength. In services, the thinking is coming up, and services are on a maturity curve now, and as they get more and more mature, they are looking more towards manufacturing to give them the solutions on how to run a better process at the minimal level, and at the satellite level, how do you run your company to be very consistent, giving very consistent targets, profits essentially.
Right. And in terms of data, do you see some differences in terms of type of data and quality of data?
As I said, service is still in an evolution mode. The data that comes in is huge. We live in an information age, so data is everywhere. It's how you structure the data and analyze it. So we have this huge reservoirs in service industry, and you need to look at it with a certain lens. And what Lean and Six Sigma are doing together is give you that lens where you can sort of pattern the data and derive insight from it.
Right.
So it's becoming fairly well accepted from that perspective.
Right. So, if you look back in your experience of 17 years, what could be some of the best projects that you have experienced in different sectors?
Uh, from a manufacturing perspective, I think it was designed. So I was in the automobile field, and then we were designing. So I was part of the Shriram group, and then in the fuel injection setup. So we designed pumps for this was in the 90s. We had designed pumps for the new cars, automobiles coming in. So design was a very exciting project we did, because we started off with practically no kind of baseline. From a service sector perspective, I think the biggest impact projects which I ran and gave me a lot of satisfaction was improving productivity and flow. So in my current role, I run a global supply chain, and Lean and Six Sigma. There are not much opportunities for design unless you redesign a process. But a Lean from a service sector is, and especially in a supply chain, where we are operating across 3 continents, the Lean has been a very Lean has we just are in the journey of implementing it, but it is giving us a feel that we could very well control our processes with this methodology. So, to answer your question, I think the biggest design projects in manufacturing, and the productivity improvement and flow improvement in the service.
Right. So, in terms of because you have done some design projects, so definitely you would have used these design tools
Yes.
which are there in DMADV,
Yeah.
and you have the exposure to DMAIC as well.
Yeah.
So, fundamentally, you see big differences in these two approaches.
I think, I mean, to speak about a cliche, it's the difference between incremental and exponential. The way we do it, put it very simply, is you take it to an X sigma level, say 3.5 or 4, and then when you want to improve it above that, at a certain point of time, the law of diminishing returns of DMAIC sets in. So that's when you inflect a DMADV there, and then you go into a DMAIC there. I think it's a continuous iterative loop till a certain level. Your DMAIC works. Then after that, you need to sort of strip everything out and build it up again, and that's where the DMADV comes in. So it's iterative as with everything else.
Right. So among the methods that we focus in Master Black Belt, how do you look at simulation and forecasting methods, and how has your experience been?
Simulation and forecasting has been very exciting. As I told you, in my current role, I head up a supply chain, and this is at the correct point of time that I've sort of got exposure to this. Simulation, different sales models. We operate in a full retail sector. Forecasting, controlling your inventory. We operate across 3 continents, across 1600 supermarkets. Simulation and forecasting I see are very, very exciting. In the last few days, I've been sitting and doing some kind of simulation with the data we already had and actual data, and it's lending itself to a lot of analysis and insight. So it's been one of the big discoveries, if I can say, of the last few days.
Wonderful. So as far as your message for people new to Lean Six Sigma goes, so someone is new to Lean Six Sigma, what kind of messages would you pass on to the person?
Let me put it this way: the message of Lean is the power of Lean lies in its simplicity, and it's easy to understand, but it would require I think lends itself very powerful to business outcomes, and it addresses a lot of the issues I think we are facing currently in terms of wastage, in terms of inventory forecasting. Lean seems very, very relevant to most of the organizations, most of the business processes we are running today. As we get global, your work keeps flowing. Probably it used to flow from table to table. Now probably it flows across countries. I think flow as a concept is very, very powerful for you to look at your business through and manage your business process. The objectivity of a Six Sigma running through it is in a sense localized as compared to the prism of looking at a process with Lean. So I think from a perspective change, the Lean has been quite refreshing. Look at it. I'm quite excited about using this within our business processes.
Okay. Yeah, so thank you for sharing your views and experiences with the viewers, and I'm sure people will be motivated by your experiences and take up this journey. Thank you.
Thank you.